Sasha, Yasmin, Jade, and Chloe. The girls globally admired by and looked to for fashion and entertainment. But is Stylesville really what it seems? You wanted the 411 on the 4 girls with a major passion for fashion, and you've come to the right place. Grab some tea and enjoy what you see. I'm the Hoodie Ninja, and today we'll be covering the Bratz super styling cinematic universe. So there were 2 ways in which we could analyze this universe. One being the way that they were chronologically released, and then the other being their cinematic, or I like to say lived order. Given that we're doing an analysis of the Bratz cinematic universe and not the Bratz as a franchise, we're gonna go with the cinematic order. I will not be analyzing non-canon pieces in this video, such as Bratz the movie, the real life movie, and Bratzilla's, which I've also never watched. I don't want to disappoint y'all, I'm just letting y'all know from the jump. This ain't that. But now that that's over, we're entering the Bratz universe with Bratz Babyz the movie. Awoken to the sun. Our Bratz babies climb out of the cribs themselves. Not the safest, but I digress. They get ready with unshown parental figures, and we're introduced to each one of them. And speaking of introductions, introducing personality cards. Throughout this series, there will be cards for main characters and side characters where we'll note their continuity, their growth over time, their traits, their powers. But back to the movie. Each Bratz has their individual pets riding with them along with their mothers, or somebody that I'm assuming is their mom, but for lore reasons, we're just gonna say mother for right now, unconfirmed, but you know. At home are Nora and Nita, twins and friends of the Bratz. Nita is yelling at Nora for her clumsiness and her baby-like mistakes as if they aren't babies.
Who's molasses? Someone really slow, but not as slow as you.
They also have dogs, Happy for Nora and Snappy for Nita. Rushing to leave, Nora, unbeknownst to her, grabs the purse that has Snappy in it. Arriving at the mall, Nora's singing, but it's interrupted by the dog that's in her purse. And honestly, this moment triggers something in me because I completely forgot that there was music in this film at all. Honestly. Then we see our first antagonist, Dwayne, a preteen bully who notices the $50 karaoke contest while simultaneously noticing Nora singing her little lines out over there. I'm gonna hold this and check and make sure we recording. Okay, y'all, we good. I be getting nervous. Anyway, not relevant. So in the mall daycare, Miss Calabash is completely overrun by babies. And for some reason, she gets all the Bratz girls mixed up, even though they look not similar at all.
Hello, you do. I'm Yasmin. How's that splinter, Sasha? That was me.
I don't know what that's about. The other toddlers ask the Bratz girls to join in and chasing Miss Calabash around, and they're like, girl, we are too old for that. We just turned 2 the other day. They didn't say that verbatim, but essentially what they're saying, which I still don't understand, girl, y'all are 1. Anyway, the twins arrive at the daycare, and Snappy gets a little overly excited. And he makes a little mess. And Jade is quickly blamed for this mess without any kind of hesitation. She's like, oh, Jade. It's dang, no other girl could have did this, but whatever.
Jade, did you have an accident? Just the other day, I was laughing just a little bit too hard.
Going on a nervous spiral due to Snappy's escape, Chloe starts spewing out different scenarios of terrible things that could be happening.
Oh, puppy, loosen them all. Who knows what could happen? She could get stepped on, accidentally thrown away, eaten by an elevator, sold to a mean person. No.
And frankly, just due to her doing this in the first place, we're going to put anxiety on her personality card. Because what? With her anxiety weighing on the group decides to just go ahead and create a plan to come up and find Snappy. The plan is... this is successful because, of course, and Miss Calabash can't see. She can't see. The search for Snappy is on, and 2 boy toddlers have also joined our girls in this rescue mission. Snappy is really purposely hiding from the girls at this point by going into pet stores, blending in with posters, and this brings me to the perfect segue into the Super Styling Universe card. Inspired by Quentin reviews, this card will be where we place things that are specific to the Bratz universe and that are just really especially different from my current universe. You know, I can't speak for other dimensions, but I want to note the things that are specific to this universe to me that I feel like are not you know, normal. And our first is gonna be animals exhibiting above average intelligence, because Snappy, what are you doing, bro? Like, this ain't no game. And granted, I've never had a pet, fun fact. So if dogs do this in real life, you know, let me know. But that seemed a little too smart for me. As the chase comes to an end, create value McDonald's. They got an owl in this universe. Stop playing.
Catch her, and Miss Calabash will figure out we're gone, and we'll get daycare detention, and our spotless record, no more. Our names will be mud at Playland. We won't be role models anymore, and Chloe, your wigging is bugging.
They see their dog in company of Dwayne and ask for their pet back, but Dwayne's like, oh, give me that cash. Where the 50 grands at? Not grands. I always get that stuff wrong. Where's $50 at?
Puppy, I want my puppy! I want my puppy! Hey, knock it off, Nina. That isn't going to work here. Always works at home.
So the team groups up to curate another plan, but there's like a division between the group because Sasha, Yasmin, and Nita think it's important to stand their ground and get the dog back from the bully and not let the bully them.
Are you nuts? I'm not paying that gigantic slug a penny. She's right. We should make him give Snappy back.
Whereas Chloe, Jade, and Nora kind of have a little more passive way of going about things, and they just want to earn the $50 to give to him.
And how are we going to do that? He's bigger than us. And mean.
I find this grouping very interesting. The more stronger, confrontational people versus the is these people. Interesting. I don't know if this is supposed to be a real cultural take or I don't know, you know, I don't know who's in the writers room. That might be a little personality of the writers room of this because anyway, we gonna follow the money team first. So starting with them, they start by looting one of the fountains in the mall. They get busted by the cops, sent back to start. And while they were sent back to the daycare, we see a little quirky interaction between Gordon, the police officer, and Miss Calabash. It's a little cute. But quick to the bag, the money girls come up with another idea to escape and get back on the prowl with Cameron. So Chloe pulls up to Cameron and basically is like, hey, let's put this game, skate and bet. I win, you give me $50. Chloe does win, but like they're kids, so there is no $50. Like, I don't know what she was gonna get that, but they say something about their upbringing.
My allowance is 25 cents a week.
But they're quickly on to the next thing, and they start a pet wash. And it's going great until somebody brings their pet rat, and as per se, like, you know, as per usual, it got shut down. You would think that like them starting this many businesses and it crashing would be discouraging to them, but it really isn't. They start another one, they start drawing balloon animals, they start dancing, they start to draw, they do a lot of stuff, but it all kind of comes up with the same result, like no money. Back to our fighting, our baddies team. They do find Dwayne and they find Snappy, and they put on some serious stunts to get this done. They climb up these palm trees and they're gonna lower themselves down and just grab it, but the vines break and they all collapse on Dwayne. But in that, they do end up getting Snappy back, but Dwayne snatches the backpack that Snappy's in before they can really do anything with it, so they're still back on the hunt. And Sasha's really growing impatient with all of the planning and the talking and not the action, really getting down to business. Let's get this dog, like, period. A food fight happens to break out in the cafeteria and Snappy escapes again, and there's a massive chase for Snappy that ends up involving half the mall just because of how much is going on. But because time is running out until the karaoke contest, they just say forget it and participate in the karaoke contest. And the Bratz give her a makeover because, and I quote, industry professionals don't just care about the voice, they need the looks to match. Look at the message that we have left kids. And look at the message we left kids. Me, I am kids. Why would we do that? I mean, they're not lying though. It's not a lie, but you know. Jade leaves the makeover given that she's been designated the one with style, also adding to personality card. After this, we see a montage of Nora and Nita's sister, Jillian, or Miss Fashion God of the Universe.
Miss fashion goddess of the universe.
Getting various beauty treatments across the mall. And I'm not gonna lie, Jillian putting that shit on. She putting that on, girl. I can see exactly why they got the style they got. And it's very interesting seeing how the Bratz would dress themselves up or look if they had unlimited whatever as a child. So it shows, like, I don't know, just their style as a kid. It's very interesting when you just know where it goes later. Following this, they give Nora like a real makeover, but honestly it has them scaring everybody in the mall and doesn't work. In all of the commotion of everything going on in the mall, the girls are rounded up and headed to the karaoke contest because it's about that time. And in all of this, Nora degrades herself and apologizes for causing all the trouble in the first place. What a pre-show talk for you to be about to be going on stage. Like, that's a lot. Terrible pre-show talk. And it shows in her performance. She's not very confident on stage, but Nia comes up with her and then sings. So her sister steps up and joins her on the stage, and a big performance ensues. Our Bratz babies, they apologize to each other for the division that they caused with the fighting styles. Not necessary to apologize, because you don't let a bully slide. You confront it every time, and if you confront it with more people, the easier it is. So I don't think they should have apologized, but whatever. And when our Bratz girls get on stage, they sound like grown women. I don't know what that's about, but we gonna add that to the universe card, because why did y'all come in at 2 years old sounding 35? And everybody just acted like that was normal, so that must be something that happens in this universe. So they proceed to turn the mall up, and Cameron can play the bass like a prodigy. Another thing that will be noted, because no, y'all don't get to slide with just making these decisions. So they win the contest, and Dwayne comes over to settle his IOU. But to everyone's surprise, Nora basically goes off on him and is like, "You're not gonna come in here and bully me. You're not taking my dog. You're not getting this $50. In fact, don't even take your musty self back in this mall." Because she called him musty. I'm just using a different word. And so then all the kids begin to basically like jump him verbally as well. And he's told, "Don't ever come back to this mall again, period." And then a party breaks out, and that's the end of this movie. So let's do a little recap. Alright, so we have something else we're gonna add to our universe list. Baby with adult-like prowess. I meant vocal prowess. Sasha, she got her pet bunny Boo. And Patience, we know that the Bratz were friends from birth. She got a little too. They all got a little too. Jay, the one with style, pet cool cat. Y'all see. And Cameron, I added him because he's been friends with Chloe and the girls from birth. And skating. I didn't put the base on there yet until I can see like multiple examples. So now let's head into the supernatural realm of Bratz Super Babies. I gotta check the sound first. When you the one editing and doing it, you just need to make the sound. Make sure to sound good before you even record the next piece. All right, y'all. We're entering the supernatural realm of hello. I knew I shouldn't have been able to hear half the stuff I was hearing. Okay, so starting in space, we kind of vibing out while watching an intergalactic high-speed chase, zooming through different planets and wormholes. We end up on a certain version of Earth, but in all honesty, after rewatching this sequence a lot, I've fully come to the conclusion that the Bratz are in a similar planetary system as we are, but it is not the same planetary system. I'll put it in there somewhere for y'all to see, but it is not the same. So the Bratz universe does not take place in our universe. Stylesville does not exist here. It is a separate universe. On this Earth, we see a commercial for Baby Galaxy at Adventure Universe Park, which I think is supposed to be like a universal jab, which is funny to me. Those are always so funny to me. The park's Super Buds mascot are shown. Yasmin loving Johnny Speedometer. Jade loving Mr. Stretch-tastic. Chloe with Explodo Girl, probably due to her anxiety. And Sasha with Smartessa, because of course. We are now introduced to our iconic Gran. I don't know if y'all know something about Gran, but Gran is just Gran. She tells the girls to get ready, and in the process of doing that, she has mixed up all the Bratz. Like, she's mixed up the Bratz already. This is the second time adults have mixed up the Bratz in this universe. Are y'all colorblind? Are y'all hair blind? What is it? They don't look alike. Or y'all really can't see. Like, maybe when the species of humans get older, they get blind. Because sorry, I think this is Jade's actual grandmother.
It's me, Jade. Jade.
But I really honestly cannot tell because all of their parents dropped them off so that they could go on a trip.
But they got to go to their weekend reunion.
Which I'm like, y'all getting lit. Y'all gotta be getting lit. Dropping off all y'all kids and all of y'all going. While in bed, their pets sneak out and join the girls while a green spaceship flies through the window in the background. In the morning at Adventure Universe Park, there are two employees that are working. One questions a seemingly new ride, but is affirmed by his other coworker that ride has always been there, but he knows that something is off. And while they walk away, the doors of the spaceship open, revealing a multi-eyed creature. Upon the park opening, Sasha is explaining on the rides and explaining her plans for hitting all of them in enough time. And knowingly dirtier than others, Jade has candy all over her face. And this is something to pay attention to because this is a big trope. I don't know if this is coming from like a stereotype. Like, I don't know what this is, or if this is just Jade's character. But we're gonna find out as we go through this series. But abruptly, we find ourselves detached from the girls' presence and viewing them from a multitude of eyes. As Sasha elaborates on and defends her plan, Jade is messily indulging in ice cream, while Yasmin and Chloe express some disagreement with Sasha's plan. Jade follows this up about Sasha.
Yeah, we know. You know everything.
And personally, I knew this. Sasha knew this. I was just waiting on somebody to say it. And now that somebody said it, I can add it to the universe card. Grandma mentions that Yasmin is missing. How does she know that Yasmin is missing when she cannot tell any of the Bratz apart? It's not something that I am going to just immediately write down right now, but it is something that, like, noted. Yasmin wanders off into her idol, Johnny Speedometer.
Not on the tights.
And then all the girls take a picture with their heroes, like a group picture. And Sasha steals a Zoltra Zapper from Smartessa. And Smartessa warns her to be careful and make sure she presses the right button. Is this foreshadowing? Grandma reading the room sends the superheroes off. This is really dismaying for Chloe since she didn't get like an individual picture. Sasha attempts to calm her down, but Chloe's not having it and really yells at her back. And this is a relationship that I find very interesting because most people will not yell back at Sasha. I'm not even gonna lie, they won't. So the fact that it's Angel doing it is just very interesting to me. But Gran shut all that down very quick, talking about some naparels. And you know, when parents start bringing up the nap, it's not time to play. So they load up on the Rockin' Rocket and Chloe again, busting them pipes, literally to the point of like hurting the people's ears around her. And our polyoptic friend is still lurking close behind as Yasmin has wandered off again into the store. An unusual green light emits and we see a kind of baby following after her. Who are these kids and why did they break the fourth wall? I think fourth wall breaks very important over here. So who are y'all? Nobody else ain't broke it, you know what I mean? Encountering a new infant, a boy with very thick lock type hair walking very closely behind Yasmin. The character design almost feels mixed media with the different textures that's going on in this one person, but it's made very clear that he is not our average baby if appearance was not enough. Just as he is about to approach, an employee swiftly intervenes, confiscating the device from our new baby's grasp, insisting that he needs to pay. Responding with the voice of a 50-year-old, we learn that he is not the one to play with, but our employee is very firm on his stance about the merchandise. Our BFFs and Gran find Yasmin, while our odd juvenile is crawling up to get his device back and makes an escape to his spaceship. Upon entering, a potato creature comes in amazed at the fact that a baby found its own way into the spaceship, but they realize that it's their very own Corporal Tuber. Yam explains what happens and they all agree to turn into babies together. We then get to the good lore. Tuber explains that they all just want to be treated like royalty, like babies are on this planet. You could say that has changed given the past year dealing with, I'm trying not to get shadow banned but also say what I need to say, dealing with the sides that are happening right now. They're not treated like royalty over here, girl. God thought I was gonna get a video where I didn't talk about that. No. He connects them to a memory retriever and he shows them basically his memories of witnessing the girls in Gran, and they all crave their own subservient Gran. Don't even. Okay, girl. He presses the button to transform his team and it doesn't work. This is not the matter exchanger, but an imposter. An imposter. What better hands to have our matter exchanger in than Sasha's? And instead of going to bed, the girls are up discussing their day. And this pet reveal sequence really just has me wondering, does Gran know that like the pets are there? Are they real? Is it a secret? Grandma is in the den and
Dr. Bessie, my boyfriend is obsessed with kissing my toes. Is that normal?
What are you watching?
This is is astounding. Folks, we'll be right back.
Disgusting.
Our gal pals ponder on youth and how they wish that they held more responsibility. Little did they know that Gran picked up the television remote that really wasn't a television remote and granted their wish. And our poor store worker is being tied up and questioned about these potatoes. And in this, Tater Tot goes on a rant about how hard it was to capture the matter exchanger in the first place. So the fact that it's gone is really a little inconveniencing. And that just has me wondering, what y'all do to get it? What did y'all do to get it? Give me a movie on the lore of the potato planet. But on that, they use the security cameras and they find that Sasha is the one who took the matter exchanger. So it's the next day and the girls are late, honey. They got silk presses. I don't know how grandma did all that in one day. First off, grandma know how to silk press any texture. I'm hoping there ain't no heat damage, but with the way it was, I don't think they gotta worry about that. While attempting to unstick her cup from her hand, Jade realizes that there's some sort of goop or stickiness like connecting the two, which is like, okay, her being messy again, but you know, whatever. And then Sasha begins to info dump random grown-up facts, I guess, to Yasmin, and Yasmin also discovers something interesting about her. A scream rings out from the other room where Chloe and Jade have also learned about another power that they hold, flying. And in this, Sasha acts quick and they all realize what's going on, and they agree to keep their new identities a secret. Later that afternoon, the girls are struggling to really balance their powers and do everyday activities. While watching their sitcom, it remains unresolved, so they're led to believe that in real life, the town that Johnny's speedometer is in is not safe, which is the town that they're in. So they sneak off and save the city. Pay attention to them, because so a bus is teetering on the brink of life or death, and our girls go to save them. Sasha comes up with a quick plan, and everyone quickly enacts. Does Jade have super strength or super stickiness? Because the weight don't go to the goop. So I'm gonna assume that even though she's called like Stickiana or whatever she was called, Glue Girl, that it's more so strength based than just sticky based. Upon saving the bus, the news, the cops, civilians, everybody shows up and is broadcasted on the news what they've done, and they debut themselves as their superhero names: Smartasha, Glue Girl, Sirena, and Speedy Princess. In the spaceship, Tater Tot is encouraging his friends with a speech about liberation and encouragement. Ending this, a breaking news interrupts them with the saving that we just saw earlier happen, so they know exactly who used a matter changer. How common are superheroes in this universe? Because it seems like it's on the news, but it's not very shocking. Like, oh, okay, 4 more superheroes. Like, that's what it feels like. At Grant's house, we see her watching a news station talking about a UFO abduction and sighting. Also, it confirms that we are in Stylesville and our girls are Stylesville born and raised. So our girls are taking a nap, but Grant cuts it short to celebrate their good behavior at Adventure Universe Park. But at the park, our villains are already enacting their plan, scaring patrons so that Corporal Tuber can get on the ride himself in disguise as a child. The girls see the breaking news clip about what's going on, so they say, you know what, like, even though we're tired, we're finna go save the park. On their way there, they see their own superheroes that they looked up to, and they learn, like, none of them are real, they don't have real powers, and they're not gonna help, so it's up to them. And yeah, so they head over there. Sasha is working on the control board. Jade forms some restriction with the machine, and then when Yasmin and Sasha go to retrieve the child, he shows his true color and kidnaps Sasha and Yasmin. Interesting grouping, how those two are the ones that get caught and the other two manage to escape. I'm letting it slide. This is only the second sighting for now, but they got about 2 more, and so they capture them with a root gun also, which was just terrifying looking. Like, if that was me, call it a wrap. We're done. Chloe and Jade are able to save Yasmin, but Sasha is taken on the ship. With all of her intelligence, Sasha tricks the potatoes by saying that their nuclear thermal generator is going, and then she opens the door to let all of the Bratz girls in. The Bratz then capture the potatoes, and in that they have a conversation about how this superhero life really wasn't the responsibility that they wanted, and the potatoes were explaining that they just want to be praised like babies, you know, the same way that y'all are. We don't get that at the crib. And unbeknownst to them, grandma presses the wrong TV remote and wishes all their dreams true. With this reverse, the potatoes then kidnap the babies and then program program their spaceship to send home to their home planet. Well, I forgot to mention that they programmed the home reprogramming was for enslavement, by the way. It was not for just like, oh, you get to go to my planet. It was to go to their planet to be enslaved. Our gal pals then come up with a plan to escape the ship, and they do end up exiting, and upon that exit, they see the two workers from earlier that noticed the ship, and unfortunately, they walk in the ship and are sent to Potato Planet for enslavement. By faking a pizza order, they get a ride home. Remember this house. This is Grant's house in this movie, but keep this house in mind. It is very important. This poor man has just gone on such a traumatic journey. Like, he worked at the other place, got kidnapped by UFO. People did not believe him. So he got a new job as a pizza worker, and look who he finna have to take home and who's finna be there. And when Grant opens the door, when he delivers the pizza, he sees the little babies that he knows are potatoes that kidnapped him, and he's trying to tell Grant, but Grant isn't the most receptive. And in him just freaking out trying to leave, he gets in a car accident. So, and then Graham responds like this.
Poor demented soul. Teens are so troubled these days.
These babies even passing as the Bratz is completely absurd. They look nothing like the Bratz. And at this point, something is wrong with Grandma's vision. She got visibility problems. The Bratz come up with a plan to take their house back by launching baby food, spraying harsh chemicals, dousing loads of baby foam, baby powder grenades, and oil spills. The Bratz take out Corporal Tuber and the gang. But the potatoes decide to return to their original form, which honestly just scares the girls. So in the discussion in the backyard, Chloe comes up with a plan to get rid of the potatoes. And it's a disturbing one at that. It is very disturbing. So they convince Gran to make a variety of potato dishes and basically to give each one of them a tutorial on how to cook these potato dishes. So they sneak out, let the potato babies take their place for dinner, and in that they get a sadistic showing of their own people being burnt alive, skinned, poked, prodded, stabbed, chopped, and fried. So being paralyzed in fear, they run out and wish that they be turned into something hard to find, which leads them being turned into mice. Our four gal plows take their righteous place at Babyz of the house and delight in their potato meals. And this also happens at the end. So these are some serious lore drops. The pets have plants, Lord. The pets have powers too. So the whole time it's like the pets be making their own wishes. So they have their own level of consciousness. So to a degree, like, these cannot be make-believe pets if the matter exchanger worked on them, because that means they're matter. So these pets are real. Keep that in mind. The mice also found the pizza store worker. When is this guy gonna get a break? I feel really, really bad for him, and I hope we get some updates in the future about just his life. Potato Planet is real, and these guys are stuck on there, and it is a planet full of potatoes. So but let's do a brief recap of where we are. Oh girl, why didn't y'all say there was a timer? Ain't no timer, y'all. All right, y'all, teaching time. This is a universe card. You know what? I'm gonna talk while y'all look at this. I think we really need to discuss the level of trauma that the Bratz have experienced as kids due to what they just went through. I didn't add their superhero names. I'm gonna add that because that's a part of their lore that's important. But also, like, this is a serious amount of trauma for kids to go through. I don't think that was really addressed. And then finally, we have Bratz. Oh, and Grant. Our next Bratz movie is Bratz Babyz Save Christmas. The snow is falling and Christmas is approaching, and our fave four girls are at Grandma's house while their parents are on the way back home from a snowboarding trip. This group like to hang out, and they be quick to drop their kids off. I love that for them. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a call. Hold on. Hello? Due to weather complications, the Bratz parents will not be able to pick them up for Christmas. Oh no. And Graham mixes them up again. You've known them for years at this point. They're older. Why do you keep mixing them up? She has two different glasses too, so I don't know. Disappointed by the news, the girls go into their room and discuss the traditions that they'll miss doing. Gran overhears them talking and vows to make this Christmas one of the best that they've had. I really love the outfits in the movie. I love the colors, I love the hair, I love the intricacies of everything. They then engage in a plethora of holiday activities. Why do they keep giving Jade the messiest activities? Stop it, because now I'm just gonna have to put messy on there. Like, I don't you know. But due to an overpowered circuit, Grandma is kind of taken hostage by her own Christmas decorations, and Sasha saves her. Even with this though, she wants to continue to make this holiday a great one, so she goes to take the girls to see Santa Claus at the mall. But Santa's not at the mall because it's Christmas Eve, which is like a holiday. And this is just really inconveniencing William here, who looks quite familiar to me. And he's wearing a Bluetooth, child. That is so funny. Him wearing a Bluetooth is just absolutely fun. It's like hilarious. So this is the first time we see the Bratz babies without their pets. And where we don't see their pets, we do see the pets logo on their box, like their lunch boxes. Where did they go? Were they imaginary friends? Like, are they just now subjected to branding? Because if I'm being honest, like the matter exchanger worked on them, so they are people. So where did they go? Are they too old for pets now? Like, I don't know. We then shift to see 3 adults. And one, Max, is pleading for more repayment time for $100K due to the negligence of his co-workers. In order to come up with the money, Max comes up with a plan to pretend to be Santa while his 2 workers, well, colleagues, Regis and Ralph, pickpocket the crowd. The first shot in line, of course, is William, and then Regis and Ralph continue about their business. I see a lot of familiar faces in this line. If you're familiar with the Bratz universe, you will see a lot of familiar faces too. I find this very interesting. It's good to know some of these people have been here for a long time, and it's very interesting that one of these characters is just dressing all hidden and stuff, like even in this lore. So it's just so cool that they kept that continuity. You don't know now, but you'll know soon. What did William do to the Tooth Fairy? What did he do?
Don't ho-ho me with that bowl full of jelly stuff.
Grouping up to see their haul, Max realizes that like his accomplices have really only taken not a lot of money but a lot of toys due to their trauma for always being on the naughty list as kids. And in Max's rage, he rips up $1,000 in cash. Max is also spotted by mall security. While mourning not seeing Santa, the girls spot Max and begin to chase after him. Upon their chase, they stumble into this flying car toy that they think is cool, and they meet this kid named Zachary. He is an orphan that lives at the Summer House orphanage, and boy, they do not let you forget. They keep repeating it over and over that he does not have like a mom or dad. And you know, like I personally cannot speak from that point of view, but like I would think like you gonna keep saying it over and over again in our whole conversation. Y'all look at what he don't got. I bet your life sucks because you don't have, like, I bet it does. I just think writing wise there could have been a better way to go about that. But continuing their search, they find Max/Santa, and they overhear him saying that because there isn't enough workers, Christmas will basically not come to pass this year. And you know our girls are not gonna let that happen. So back home, Gran puts the girls to sleep and dresses up as Santa to surprise them. But unbeknownst to her, y'all know y'all gonna get sick of that word. Unbeknownst to her, the Bratz are planning to save the real Santa and save Christmas. They sneak out unseen using the deer sleigh while Grandma is climbing the house to go down the literal chimney. With only $2 in their pocket and on the brink of hopelessness, Max, Regis, and Ralph notice the orphan gifts and the $1 million on television. They immediately head there to grab that cash. And at this point, Max is holding Regis and Ralph just hostage. So William and his dad are reporting the Santa thief to the mall cop, who honestly did not come to play. She was like, where is he at? We finna find him getting his locked up. And William is just so... Gran is having her arc as well. And our mall cop is fresh on the heels of the fake Santa and our girls. Did this guy make it back from Potato Land? Does he have an identical twin? You know, Starsville is the only one sitting. A chase begins while our Fab Four are on the way to see Santa. I don't know how they're making it this far to the orphanage without directions. I'm gonna assume they just know where everything is. Also interesting. Regis and Ralph ponder upon their younger days. And I do feel bad for whatever childhood they had to experience. So with Max speeding, he catches the attention of a police officer. And then all the other girls and mall cops fly by. So he's like, you know what, let me actually do my job and go stop these people. In that, he kind of gets entangled with the mall cop, and she take his car. She take his car, like, and handcuffs him to the other car. So Regis and Ralph try to convince Mac not to steal from the orphans, but he's not going for it. Avoiding a head-on collision, our girls arrive at the orphanage, and Gran is still having her little thing going on. So the 3 sneak in, Max, Regis, and Ralph, and then our Bratz pull up shortly after. The elves are sent out to distract everyone while Max goes and gets the money. And in this, they're all taken into work as Santa's elves/volunteers. The group goes through a series of hiring tests, including bow wrapping, tree decorating, snowflake creations, and more. Our mall cop is nearing the orphanage, and Grandma has resorted to using a drone and a ribbon to get herself out of the chimney that she's stuck in. Elves and reindeer have a very close relationship. Like, I guess they should, but like this feels very intimate.
Hey,
Max finally gets the keys to the car and slowly drives off as the girls re-recognize him as Santa. But all the girls start to notice that something is a little off with Santa. The mall cop ends up pulling up and taking him away, pretty much. But in that, we learn that the boss that Max has kind of been trying to owe money and running from the whole time is the mall cop. She's not even a mall cop. She disguised herself as the mall cop to keep an eye on them and get them. And I just think as a like boss, you ate that. So Max and the boss basically kidnap the girls, the elf and the reindeer, and lock them up. And then Max, the mall cop, and Regis and Ralph escape. But Regis and Ralph feel really, really bad about everything that they've been doing. They didn't want to do half of it in the first place. So they like get off the car with the other two and go back to rescue our girls and the elves and the reindeer. Our Avengers then head back to get the money from Max and that lady. In doing all of that, they learn that these reindeer can fly. So in universe, reindeer can fly. The police then meet up with the team of criminals and they arrest them. And then they clear the names of Regis and Ralph so they're not in any trouble.
All I know is I've hired these guys. Full-time reindeer trainers. So I'll be taking these new elves to their new jobs at the real North Pole.
Oh, certainly. Whatever you say. They're all yours.
So the North Pole exists in this universe, and I think that's very good to know because that then makes me question, what did William do to the Tooth Fairy? Because it probably was a real fairy that he did that to. After saving the day, the police take the girls home, and where is Gran? Where is Gran? And what her and Santa got going on? I hate that we had to end on that note. I'm assuming that, I guess when the girls went home and didn't see her, they probably heard her calling. Because when Gran was calling for help, it was, I don't know what she was doing. But anyway, we're gonna hit our recap, y'all. So this is our universe card for now. I feel like after going through the trauma of Super Babyz, Bratz probably feel like they could do anything they want to because you defeated these alien potatoes. So we added anonymous hip hop orphan star. Cause what? The North Pole, elves, flying reindeer, Santa exists, all of that. And I think that's important lore to mention. So a big indicator of the girls aging over time to me was the change in their hair, the food they eat, and clothes. In Bratz Babyz, they have bottles and diapers. In Bratz Super Babyz, we can see that they're in high chairs with silk presses. And then this final movie, we can see that their outfits have a lot more intricacies, and same thing with their hair and the braids and the different types of random updos that they had.